All right, let's go. We got to solve this one. Here's the work. Now, luckily, these guys are both solved for y already. One of the variable is isolated for that equation. The variable is isolated for this equation, so we are ready to roll. Now we just got to choose one of the equations to be our main equation, and then we'll sub in the other equation. So I'm going to choose that one, y equals x minus 14, and I'm going to choose this to be the gold idol, this to be the sack of sand, and we are going to replace the y with the negative 6x, and then we just bring everything else down. Now we have variables on both sides, so we got to solve this. We've got an x on that side, x on the right side, and so we're going to subtract the variable term. Remember, we can always subtract or add terms to cancel them out. We get negative 7x equals negative 14. Divide by negative 7. Negative 7. That equals x equals positive 2. Okay, so remember, our solution to a system is always a coordinate pair or an ordered pair. All right, so now we have half of that ordered pair. We have the x coordinate. We just got to find the y coordinate. So what we do is we choose either of the equations that we started with, the original equation. So I'm going to choose y equals negative 6x, and I'm going to replace what I think x is, which is 2. And then I can figure out what y is. Negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. So we think that the solution is negative 12. How can we check that? Well, we can check that by plugging it into the original. So y equals x minus 14. The y we think is negative 12, and 2 minus 14. Is that true? Yes. Negative 12 does equal negative 12, right? The right side of the equation when we substitute in equals the left side of the equation when we substitute in, and we check the other one, y equals negative 6x. We put the negative 12 here, negative 6 times 2, and we see that the left side that we plugged in is equal to what we calculate when we plug in the right side. All right, so that checks out, so we can circle our solution with confidence. The one ordered pair that would make both of those equations true is 2 comma negative 12. All right, here's the other part of your homework. So this one's a little bit different because we have one equation here that there is an isolated variable, the y, and then we have one equation here that doesn't have it isolated, right? We have the x all with stuff around it and the y with stuff around it. So we have to use this one as our golden idol and our bag of sand, right? That has to be the substitution right there. So we have to use this guy as our main equation that we're going to be subbing into. So let's write it. 4x plus y equals negative 14. I see the idol there. So I'm going to 4x plus 3x minus 7 excuse me, equals negative 14. All right. Now, plus sign in front of a parenthesis doesn't really mean, it's just like distributing a 1, a positive 1. So we can just basically get rid of those parentheses. Tricky parts is if there's a minus sign in front of the parenthesis, then you have to distribute a negative 1, but we're not talking about that quite yet. Anyway, so we get down to here, we got like terms, that's 7x minus 7 equals negative 14. All right, we're going to now solve for x plus 7 plus 7. We get 7x equals negative 7. Divide by 7. Divide by 7. X equals negative 1. All right, that's part of our solution. We know that part of our solution is x is negative 1. Now we have to sub in again to get that y coordinate. So the y is going to equal 3x minus 7. And we think that x is negative 1. So when we do the work, we get negative 3 minus 7, y equals negative 10. Now when we sub it in, we put the negative 10 there, the negative 1 there, 3 times negative 1, 3 times negative 1 is negative 3 minus 7 is negative 10, which we think it is, okay? So now I'll think it through on this part. I plug in the negative 1 there and the negative 10 there. I get 4 times negative 1, which would be negative 4, plus negative 10 is going to be negative 14. So it checks out on both. So this we can circle with confidence. We say that is our solution because it makes both of the equations in the system true. There we go. Hopefully you got them right. If not, I hope you learned and understand. And if not, well, hopefully we can pick up the pieces when I return.